can't even see you again. There we go. I think that's better. I can't tell if it's better or not. Let's take a look. I think we are live. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another Disney Talk Thursdays. I'm Walt.
I'm Melissa.
And we are here tonight. Welcome in. For anybody that might be watching on the replay. Oh, geez, look at that. That's covering my head. Got to move that down there. If you're watching on the replay, folks, welcome in. We appreciate you joining us. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. Just hit that subscribe and bell notification. We'd appreciate it. If you could subscribe to our partner channels, I couldn't think of the word. Steve's World. Steve's great, does great videos. And, of course, AJ from the Kingdom Times. You can find their links in the description below. And also, we want to, before we do anything any further, we want to say hi to and thank you to Dean over at the Live Place. They host these live streams each and every week, family-friendly live streams. You can go out to theliveplace.com to see these live streams from us and others like it as well. So thank you. And now I want to say hello to everybody in the chat.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Juan. Hi, Dougie. Hi, Joseph Andrews. Hi, John. Hi, Brian. Steve, make me a BLT while you're at it. Stream it on over.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, absolutely. Well, welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Brian, welcome in. John, Joseph, everybody. Dougie, welcome in, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Steve's World, welcome in.
I love your tattoo. Everybody has to watch Dougie's little stream. He showed his tattoo today. It's awesome.
Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, all right. I'll have to watch it later. Yep. Absolutely.
It's gorgeous. Hey, Robin.
Hey, Robin. Welcome in.
Hey, Disney Nerd Herders. Welcome in, everybody.
Disney Nerd Herders. Welcome in. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to have a fun stream tonight, but it's going to be more conversational tonight. Not any brackets or top 10s or anything. We were thinking about something to talk about, and nobody's really talked FastPass. And we're going to kind of make it a little bit controversial tonight.
Why, Dougie?
No watching. Oh, Dougie, you should have left it up. What's up, Chris? Welcome in.
I'll tell. Well, now that anybody can see it, can I tell everybody what it was? That stinks. Why'd you take it down?
Oh, you should have left it up, bud.
That's crazy.
Well, we are going to talk FastPass tonight. We're going to talk in a few different ways. I called sick this morning. I don't blame you, Brian. Good for you.
I've been wishing I could. I mean, I don't want to be sick, and I can't call in sick unless I'm really sick, but I could use a sick day.
She could use it. She doesn't do it.
I won't.
She thinks she's better than everybody. She
No,
can't
that's
do
not
it.
true.
That's what it is.
I can't do it unless I'm legitimately sick. And I don't have enough vacation days to take one just
That's
for the
true.
heck of it. So.
I get like a lot.
Yeah.
And comparatively,
He took a half a day just because he could.
Yeah, I just took a half a day today. So it's because, hey, Janine.
Hey, Janine.
Disney DIY, welcome in. Hope you're doing well.
And it stinks because at my old job, I kind of had unlimited days off. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing I miss about my old job. Only thing.
Yep.
And it's not enough to...
No, of course not. Nope. But welcome in, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate you being here. Again, we're going to talk FastPass tonight. I think this is a good conversation because everybody always talks, oh, FastPass, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But I'm going to kind of give a different spin on it tonight. And Melissa's going to help me. Is it really wonderful? Is it a good idea? Is the FastPass system that we have at Walt Disney World, is it good? Could we change it to make it better? Or should we just get rid of it altogether?
There's Brian's opinion, and that's kind of what we were talking about off air. Rhiannon!
Hey, Rhiannon, welcome in. How's the baby doing? Hope the baby's doing well.
I
hope everybody's doing good. I'm sure he is.
I want to hold him.
But I want to talk about this. So Steve says, yes, it's a great idea to have FastPass. Well, here's how I see FastPass. There was a time when there was no FastPass. It was a long time ago. It was before us.
I was going to say, I think
it was
ever
way
since
before us.
We started going.
Yeah.
They had paper FastPass.
They always had paper FastPass, but I know there was a time when there was no such thing as FastPass.
Baby's not sleeping.
Oh, baby won't sleep.
Uh-oh.
Oh, don't worry. You're not alone in that.
Take a nap anytime he takes a nap. I hope you're doing that. That's what I did. He naps, you nap.
Yep. And I think Chris makes a good point, and I think Brian made a good point. It kind of hurts the standby times, and here's what I mean, is who goes in first? The FastPass people go in first. That's why they have FastPass. So if there's a standby line or a FastPass line, 9 times out of 10, the FastPass people are going to go in first.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan. Welcome in, buddy.
He makes a very good point. The best FastPass is called mobile ordering.
Yes, that's true. It is. But even that you can wait on. But I tend to think, again, I don't know what it would do to the lines, but the standby lines really slow down because of FastPass. It's just, because those that get them have to go first.
It's interesting. Dougie says he finds that FastPass makes me relax too much. He gets less done.
Well, that's true too. I mean,
in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Disney Nerd Herder says in the current system, there are an absolute must. The question is the system any good? Well, that's my point. Is I don't know that the system is good the way they do it. I don't personally think I want fast passes. The more I thought about it, I think Disney did it as a perk for people staying on property. Okay, I think at first they did it as a perk for people to stay on property, gave it as reasons for, kind of incentives for people. Now, off-property people can get them too, don't get me wrong, but on-property people got them first,
right?
If I'm not mistaken. Even back during the paper. No, during the paper time, you just would go up and...
Yeah, to the kiosk.
Yeah, would go up to the kiosk, so...
So that's not true. I mean, I know now we have the advantage to get our fast passes earlier, being if you stay on property, right?
Say again? Yes.
We have the opportunity to
60 days... compared to those 30, yes.
But I don't know. I have mixed opinions. See, I think I know the solution. You have to just make 2 of every ride. One for FastPass people and one for standby. Just double all the rides in the park and the attractions, and we're good to go.
It is because you got a Smuggler's Run FastPass, Dan. I was thinking of things to talk about tonight, and I said, well, let's talk fast passes, because here's how I see it.
Good night, Dougie. Sorry.
Dougie, no, that's all right, buddy. Take care. Have a good night.
He put up some posts on Twitter for you to see his tattoos.
Oh, cool. Thanks. I appreciate that, Dougie. I'm excited to see it. Thanks, pal. I think Disney Nerd Herders makes a good point. What would the wait be without any FastPass? I don't know that it would be that bad, because the lines would just keep moving.
Sure.
It would just be a consistent
standby line to keep letting the FastPass people go. Hi, more sunshine, please.
Hey, more sunshine, please. Welcome in. That's my point, is the standby line has to stop because you have to let the FastPass people in. Well, if everybody's just in standby, I think the FastPass would move quicker. Now, would 3 hours go down to 2 hours? Maybe. It might cut it out a little bit. But it's hard to say, because we're never going to know.
Yeah, that's true.
We're not ever going to know. So I just think that possibly without it, it could work. And I guess for the first time ever, no pun intended, Frozen, we're going to find out if it works, because Smuggler's Run is not going to have fast passes.
True.
And now that could sway it a little. It could be kind of skewed because we're expecting gigantic crowds anyway. So it's going to be really long lines. But we'll see. Hey,
Zippity Doodad.
Zippity Doodad, welcome in. Hope you're doing well.
And Steve puts good night for the first time, Dougie. Maybe if we say Little Mermaid, he'll come back up. Ariel. Under the sea.
Well, that's a good idea, too. Disney Nerd Herder says money is the route anything they come up with.
True.
Let's let people wait in a virtual line while they shop and spend money.
That's almost like
they could do that. They haven't done it yet.
Well, that's kind of what they do at Universal with the Tapu Tapu, right?
That's exactly what they do.
In the water park. So they have the little wristbands where they can tap in, and it alerts them when they can go back in line. So it would be interesting to see if Disney did implement something like that. So,
Dan's funny. I would think why can't they do that? Why can't they do that? Why can't they do a virtual line?
Right.
I mean, if you want to stay in line, okay, stand in line, stand in the standby. But why can't they do a virtual?
Yeah. It's being done elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not. I mean, they're doing it a little bit at Universal. I don't know. I think they could do it.
Of course, I guess it's really just the water park that really does that right now. I mean, I know they have some. Aren't some of the attractions, like the Today Show attraction, isn't that somewhat like they get notified and they come back? But they have different sections where you wait. It's not quite to that point. I don't know if it's just something they're trying out.
Yeah, that's true.
Volcano Bay.
Yeah. Disney Nerd Herders makes a good point. FastPass is kind of a virtual line. It really is. Because you don't come there, you don't get in line until you're within your time frame. So
I guess it just depends how long that FastPass line is that you're waiting. In some cases, you really don't wait, so you're constantly moving. Yeah. So you're right.
I mean, my point is, if I'm gonna, if I get a FastPass, I don't want to have to wait in a FastPass line for 30 minutes. Now, how often does that happen? But on the really big rides, it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm getting a FastPass and wasting, my FastPasses, I want to get on the ride within 5 minutes to 10 minutes the most.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't always get that. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a better system. What would be a better system? They kind of do. It's called FastPass. Steve. I know we're old. I don't know. Virtual.
But I know. Sometimes I feel like we'll watch vlog. People say, "Oh, I'm in the FastPass line, and it's all the way back here," and I realize they do move faster than the standby lines, but a lot of times there are fairly long lines to some of the prime attractions.
Right.
So, is it really a FastPass? I mean, it is comparatively. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just wonder if there's a way. I really, truly believe that if they didn't have FastPass, the standby lines would not be as long. I think it would just go quicker because you wouldn't have to wait for other people in that line. It wouldn't slow down the standby line. It would be a continuous moving because a lot of the rides are continuous anyway, and I just think it would move faster. That's my opinion. What's Brian saying?
So many people don't know what to call it. He's heard Fast Pass, Speed Pass, Fast Track, Quick Pass, Skip the Line Pass.
And many others. It's true! It's true. Some people don't even know there is a such thing as FastPass.
They don't even know there's an app. People don't even know to make advanced dining reservations, which drives me crazy. I'm like, really? I'm late.
But Steve, I understand what you're saying there, but that's not true. Steve says, would you rather wait in line for every ride for 30 minutes to an hour, or wait for 3 rides for less than 10 minutes and the others for 45 minutes? That's not true, though, because you're not, even if you get a FastPass, usually you're getting FastPasses for the really, really popular rides, and you're not waiting 10 minutes. Sometimes you're waiting 15 to 20, and those other rides that you don't get FastPasses for, you're usually not waiting 45 minutes. It's 55 minutes to an hour and 10. I get what you're saying, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. If I knew that every ride would wait 30 minutes or less, I'd go that route. That's just me. What about you?
I guess it depends on the time of year you're traveling, because if you're going during a super busy time right now, like spring break and people on summer break, all of the lines are going to be longer, so the FastPass lines will be longer. Steve's probably right. If you're going during an off time, less off season, then you probably are only going to be in a FastPass line for 10 minutes. So it all depends on when you're there.
Yep.
So, and then here, Dan's favorite question, is FastPass free?
No, it's not. It's not free. And here's how I say that. Because if it was free, then how come those that are staying off property have to wait 30 days, but those staying on property have to get 60 days?
It's still
because,
free.
no, you're paying for it. And I don't think it is a perk. I think it's part of what you pay to stay on property at those resorts that are a lot higher per night rate compared to what you'd be paying if you stayed off property.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You do pay for the FastPass indirectly. That's my opinion. I don't think it is free. Just like I don't think it's really technically that you're getting free transportation. Somebody's paying for that transportation. Somebody's paying for that gas. Somebody's paying for the maintenance on those buses. Somebody's paying for those bus drivers to get paid. Yeah. It's us. We're paying for it.
Brian, I don't want to hear that. You had the day off. You should have made that chicken parm an hour ago. Although it would have been at like 3 in the afternoon, but
Well, that.
It technically is free, Steve. I mean, because if you compare it to have a FastPass in other parks like Universal, you legitimately do have to pay for it, whether you're staying on their property or not. Mm-hmm. So, technically, yeah, it's free. He's right. I mean, you are paying more of a premium to stay in the park, in Disney property. But there are other perks to that too.
I don't think it's free. I just don't. I don't think I don't think that anything's free. I think that they call it complimentary. Hey, James Garcia, welcome in. And I love Disney. Trust me, you guys know us. We love Disney. But I also like to say it how I see it. And not that I'm seeing it right. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think any of it's free. I think it's just it's considered free and called complimentary, but we ultimately pay for it. in some way.
Technically, I guess you could definitely spin it as many different ways as you want. It's right. I mean, you get the transportation to and from the airport, you get the transportation to and from the parks, but you're right. We're paying for it in one way or another. We're using that money to buy extra merchandise, or we're using, to buy more food in the park. So they're getting it, and that's why they do these things too, because in your mind, it's like, oh, well, that frees me up. So now I have more money for this and more money for that. So
Gotcha.
They're smart. Yeah. They know what they're doing.
Hey, Shep family, welcome
Hey,
in.
Shep family.
Hope you're doing well. And I get it, Steve. It does cost you the same as someone staying off property. But it doesn't cost you the same as somebody staying off property, because you're paying more to stay on property than they're paying to stay at the Best Western down the road. And they're going to get the same fast passes you're going to get. They're going to get the same food you're going to get. They're going to get the same merchandise you're going to get. The only difference is you get your fast passes 30 days sooner.
And the reservations for dining you get sooner.
Right. So, but you're paying for that, in my opinion.
Dan, I always FastPass the Seas with Nemo, Figment, Muppets, People Mover, Dole Whip Line, and Bread Service.
You know what? I would FastPass TTA if the line was that long. I don't care. I love that ride. Steve, Human Person says, actually, I might agree with Walt on this one. Oh, thank you. It's a first for everything. At Disneyland, the one-day ticket is like $100, but at the surrounding theme parks, one day is $60, but skipping the line is like $30 to $40. Again, I think it's a good conversation to have. I like the arguments both ways. It's fun that you get different thought process of whether or not you think it is or isn't free, whether or not it's a good idea. I don't know that they could come up with a better system.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they could. Like John says, the best things in life are free, but nothing in life is free.
Right.
Very true. So, and Shep Family says the DVC resale is the way to go as far as staying on property. I've heard other people say that too. Mm-hmm. We're already DVC members, so we can't really, use that. But I've heard that from other vlogs as well, that people say that's a really good experience for them.
And Disney Nerd Herder says, I just don't want to pay for quicker access like they charge at Universal or Six Flags. They won't. And they won't because they make you pay such a premium now for their rooms and their food and their merchandise. I don't ever see Disney saying you got to start paying for fast passes. If they do, you'll start seeing attendance go down. Right. People will not start paying for stuff like that.
Well, it's interesting, kind of going in a different direction, talking about being in competition with Disney. We just watched a vlog I didn't realize they're building yet another resort for Universal, and it's actually going to be like a value resort with suites, and the prices are extremely low compared to what Disney charges for their suites at like Art of Animation. I think their one-bedroom suites are $200 some odd a night, and Universal's saying like $138 a night for a separate bedroom, suites, just like what Disney's offering, and the price is ridiculously lower. And their prices for their regular rooms in this new value resort were like $89 a night. So I was like, wow, they're really trying to, bring those Disney people in. It really seems that way.
Oh, absolutely, Steve. Steve says, I make fast passes 60 days in advance and still don't get all the ones I want. True. I pay for the experience and the atmosphere, not for something everyone else gets. Yeah. Yes and no. You're right. You pay for the experience and the atmosphere, but in my opinion, you are paying for something everyone else gets. But part of the fact that you can get them sooner is because you're paying more than everybody else. That's just how I see it. And the reason why we don't get all the ones we want is because you're not the only one paying to stay at those resorts. We are, Dan is, everybody else is too. So you have a lot of people trying to get a little bit. There's a lot of people trying to get a little bit of fast passes because they're not infinite. So I get what you're saying, though, Steve. You make a good point.
Human Person says he didn't want to agree, but he just did the math, a.k.a. his enemy, and he was like, whoa, he's right. So you can look at it any way that you want. We stay on Disney property because we like having the full experience, and it really adds to your experience staying on a Disney property. It makes it easier. You can just stay in your Disney frame of mind without having to worry about all the other things, without having to travel outside the parks, having to park in the parking lots and take the trams. And I think it just makes for a more enjoyable experience. But everybody's different. Everybody has different means, financially and what they can do. And I think it's just about making the absolute most of what you can afford to do and just enjoying your trip.
Yep. Well, I agree. Steve says, I feel you pay for what you get. People can choose not to come to Disney. Yes, they can. And many do choose not to go. I have 3 people at work that say they would love to go to Disney, but they're not going. Well, my boss is one of them. She said it's too expensive. And she makes good money, and her husband makes really good money. And they're not going because they said it's too expensive. They can't justify spending that kind of money. So, Steve, you're right. People can choose not to come to Disney, and many do. Just as many that come, there are many more that don't. I mean, for every million that come to Magic Kingdom in a year, there are how many millions of people in this world?
Right.
How many millions of people in this country that don't go to Disney, either because A, they can't afford it, or B, they just they can't justify doing it. Or they're just not fans.
Right. I mean, I have a feeling that's a combination.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's so much that they can't justify the funds. They don't care about it enough. And
yes,
a lot of times
that's good point. Yep.
Went, I don't think people understand what Disney is sometimes. People just automatically think Disney cartoons, Disney animation. I don't think they realize, a lot of people, I think if they went, and even if it wasn't Magic Kingdom, like going to Epcot and going to all the other parks, I think a lot of people out there would actually really enjoy Disney a lot more than they think they would. My dad is one of those people. He went to Disney one time. He went to Magic Kingdom for a day. It's not really his cup of tea. I think if my dad had gone to Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom
he
or
might have
Epcot,
liked it better.
He probably would have had a much different aspect. Because for us, he's always like, "You're going to Disney again?" For him, he's like, "I didn't even like it." So it's kind of crazy because different people's perspectives, and if they don't even give it a try, they really don't know. So it's one of those things. It would be nice if everybody in the world could experience it at least once.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would, but then the crowds would be really big.
Well, that's what they're saying. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is, look, everybody makes good points. It's everybody makes good points. It's all about whether or not you feel the fast passes would lower, help us with the lines. Some people are saying that they like the fact that they don't have to wait in line. You're right. But you're only getting 3 fast passes. And what are your chances of getting more good fast passes later in the day? What are your chances of getting a good fast pass? Okay, you're going to get a Small World. You're going to get a Mickey's PhilharMagic. You're probably not going to get a Mine Train. You're probably not going to get a Space Mountain. You're probably not going to get a Big Thunder. Hopefully you already got some of them. But you only get 3, so you can't get one for all of them.
And it's frustrating that you have to use them all before you can get more, and then you can only add one at a time. And I understand why they have to do that. It makes sense, but it's frustrating. I'm like, once you use one, you should be able to get the other.
Yeah. Oh, James Garcia says last time he was at Disney World, he was 7.
Wow.
Oh, well, I hope you get to go again soon, bud.
Awesome. Yeah, we didn't even get to go until we were in our 20s, so we didn't get to go as kids, but I felt like the first time we went, even now, we became kids again, so it was awesome.
Yeah, 3 to start, then extra, Steve. I get it. No, and I get that, but the problem is the first 3 you get, here's the point, and you kind of made it for me, is you're right. You can't always get the ones you want. So you get 3. You may not even be able to get a Mine Train. Well, let's not even say Mine Train. You can't even get an Avatar because they were all gone. Oh. So already you're down that. You can't get Avatar. Maybe you get Everest and you get the Kilimanjaro Safari. Okay. But now you're not going to ride Avatar unless you wait in a 3-hour line. And what other fast passes are you going to get for Animal Kingdom?
And I don't like the parks where you have the prime rides and you can only pick like 1 out of 3.
Yeah, like Epcot. Epcot's got tiers.
I'd hate that. And I get it, but I despise it because usually trying to pick between whether you want to get Soarin' or Test Track, for me it's always going to be Soarin', but for them, they really enjoy Test Track. So it's like, what do you do?
Right. And Steve, that's a good point. And we'll try that on the next trip because I hope you're right. Steve says if you just keep refreshing, the good ones will pop up. We've never experienced that, okay? And we've refreshed, but not a lot, and not a lot.
Not constant.
Not constant refreshing. Yeah. We haven't constant refreshed, but we'll try that on this next trip if there's ones we don't get.
He said Disney holds back fast passes and releases them throughout the day.
Oh, interesting.
And we saw that. Tim Tracker actually did it while he was at the park recently, and he went in a couple times, went back in, and he was able to get some fast passes. So I've seen it, in real life, so to speak. So you're right.
Yeah, Disney Nerd says get rid of tiers. Why is it? What I don't understand, why is it Epcot has tiers, The other 3 parks don't.
Yeah, I don't
Why
know.
is it that Epcot's the only one that has the tiers? Is it because they have less rides? I don't understand why that park was the park that picked tiers.
Yeah, I don't either.
If I was going to pick a park, I'd probably pick Magic Kingdom because it has so many rides.
Right. Maybe that's why, because it has so many rides, they don't need to. Hey, Noah.
Hey, Noah, welcome in. Everybody say hi to Noah.
Yeah, that's smart, Steve. He says when he gets in line for his 3rd FastPass, he starts the refresh process.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you're right. Because as soon as you hit your Magic Band, that FastPass is done. Your 3rd one, now you can. You're absolutely right. We've done that. No, human person. The other parks aren't. Just Epcot has tiers, which is really weird. But the other ones at Walt Disney World don't.
That's a good point, Disney Nerd Herders. He said start looking for fast passes for the last days of your vacation first, because less people will have access to booking those days first.
Interesting.
That
Okay.
is actually kind of a good tip.
Yeah, we'll do that. I guess part of the problem is because we have to wait so long for us to get fast passes, we've already booked our dining. So we already know what our schedule has to be. Because if we book dining at certain parks, we have to be at those parks that day.
Yeah.
So, no, but you could still do it. Go ahead.
Zippity Doodad said that he thinks Hollywood Studios has the tiering now too, with Slinky Dog and Toy Story Mania, which they might, because last year when we went, we weren't able to book our fast passes at 60 days because we hadn't bought our park tickets yet. We had kind
That's
of a
right.
last minute.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to experience that because there were no fast passes
Right.
left for either of those by the time. So that it could be we just haven't gone in yet, and we're not close enough to our trip to start booking yet. So we have end of May? No, end of June, where we can start booking for this trip. So
Interesting. Okay, then they're all going to tier. See, and that's part of it, because Brian's now saying in Animal Kingdom 2, Tier 1 is Pandora, Tier 2 is everything else.
I'm not surprised.
He might be kidding. I don't know if he's
but
kidding or
that's-
not.
probably, because if it's only one in the tier,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. It's Thursday. He's trying to pull our leg.
Wow, that's great, Disney Nerd Herders.
Okay.
He says they say they can get flight of passes 3 or 4 times because they go for 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Don't
See,
hate.
that definitely no,
We do hate.
Yeah, no, we
No,
did that
we're jealous.
once. We've done that once. We actually wasn't even 2 weeks. We did a 10-day trip several years ago, and we actually took a couple days to go to SeaWorld one day, Universal for 2 days, and the rest was Disney. It was exhausting, but it was one of the best trips I think we've had. Wouldn't you agree?
What, the 2-week trip?
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
The 10-day trip.
Yep, absolutely.
It was nice. I mean, if you can get the time to go and you can afford it, more power to you. Wow. So Steve just checked it. 3 of the parks are tiered now. So every
How about
park,
that?
I guess, other than Magic Kingdom is now tiered.
Hey,
Hey,
Jeff.
welcome
What's going on?
in.
Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. See, that's really weird. I wonder why now they're going to tier. Well, I know why Hollywood Studios is going to tiers. With the opening of Star Wars Land, they're going to tier. They're going to start tiering over there because that park's going to become a very, very, very busy park. But man, I'm sorry they did that. I don't like that at all. I don't think. Man, that's too bad. I don't like the tiers. We didn't like it at Epcot.
That's what Ozzy Osbourne says. No more tears.
Yeah, no more tears. 3 parks now. That's crazy. Zippity Doodad, let us know. Let us know. Please do. He says he'll be at the parks tomorrow.
Oh,
That's nice. We're jealous.
I'm jealous.
That's my
Do
guy.
some vlogging. Okay, Steve said they were tiered when he went in September.
Then why didn't we see that? We went in October and we didn't see it.
Get to,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I just said that story. You're not listening.
Yeah, but we still used fast
But
passes.
we were so far out, all the big rides were taken. We couldn't
Oh, that's
get
true.
fast
That's
passes
right.
for the popular ones that were tiered.
That's what it was.
Because we got our park tickets like 30 days out. So we went in immediately when we got them and started booking, but all the really good stuff was taken. We had to go in at rope drop to Animal Kingdom to get onto the Flight of Passage.
Right.
And it worked out for us.
Yeah, it
we got on the ride within, 15 minutes?
Yeah, and
And the line was long, but it moved.
But the difference was, hey, Greg, welcome in.
Hey,
Good to
Greg.
see you. But what was neat about that was we chanced it because when we got in line, it said 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And we only waited like 15 to 20.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
How fast it went.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Jeff said he doesn't listen.
I think it's our age, Jeff.
It's a guy thing. They tune the wives out.
Steve, that's a good point. Steve says he doesn't mind the tiers. There are usually 2 big rides in Tier 1, and I get one of them one day and the other one the next day at each park. That's
I feel like we're fighting with Steve tonight. I think we're in a
We're
fight.
partner channel,
We're going
Steve.
back and forth.
We're
I
not
feel
supposed
Steve's
to be like
totally
that.
against us tonight. I'm
Nice.
like, we're having.
Hey, Nacho Mujica, welcome in. Good to see you.
In.
Yeah, I know we lost
Just
today.
Steve's and
That's
Steve.
okay. Nacho Mujica, we're gonna do that a lot probably this year, but that's okay.
Oh,
That's
no
all right.
kidding. Thanks for bringing it
Yeah,
up.
that's all right.
It was our home opener too. That's funny.
And you know what, Disney Nerd Herders, that's a good point too. When I start talking to people about planning a trip to Disney, I get this overwhelmed look in their eye. I've seen that a lot, where they just look overwhelmed, where they're like, wow, I really have to do that much planning? Can't I just go?
See, and I find it to be fun. I think planning is part of the fun. I enjoy going in. Like, we sit down, I have like my notebook where I start making notes. Like, we have like the dates all planned, like our restaurant all written out inside. And like, oh, this day we're going to do this, this, this.
Yep.
I enjoy it. It gives me something to look forward to. We go in and like change it every couple of days and make notes and like, okay, let's do this when we get a little closer. I find it to be part of the whole experience, but I can understand why some people would be overwhelmed by it. Not everybody's as into it as all of us are. So, whatever.
Yeah, it's true.
I make it fun.
Yeah.
We make it fun.
Well, I think part of it too is maybe we're not good at manipulating the system as we should be. Maybe that's part of it too. I don't know. But it's important to get some of these fast passes because part of the experience is to be able to do as much as you can, as often as you can. But standing in line is never a good experience for anybody. And obviously Disney knows that. That's why the queues are so wonderful.
Oh, I bet you do, Rhiannon. When are you going to plan your first trip with the little man? He can't be traveling just yet. But.
John says he loves planning too. The Chef family says the less the planning, the better. Plan the essentials, let the rest fly.
Oh, yeah. No,
yeah,
we don't
absolutely.
like nitpick, but we at least will like talk about like what park we think we want to go in that day so we can do our dining and revolve our plans around that park. But we're not like, okay, first thing we're going to do Jungle Cruise. And then no, that's not fun. That's definitely not fun. We're not that extreme. We just start talking about, oh, let's do this park this day and this, and maybe we'll go this direction. Like we just do a basic, like, idea of what we think. It doesn't always work out that way, but it's just fun to talk about.
Yep. Brianna says in 5
5
years.
years? No, you can't. You can't wait that long, girl.
Well, here's the thing, Steve. I get that. First thing we plan when we go on any Disney trip is the dining first.
Of course, because that's where you get your reservations first. So
right.
you have to plan.
Yeah,
dining.
Right. Dining goes next, and then you have to do the FastPass next.
Yep.
It's kind of in the order that it is. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. You gotta get it that way. But it makes sense. Jeff says he plans on letting someone else do the planning. I actually am with Melissa. I like planning trips.
Yep. And that's
Disney
anything
trips
that we do. I mean, granted, we haven't been on that many trips other than Disney, but like we did our cruise one time and we did stuff like that. It was fun to plan your excursions and plan to do things like that. And then you're right, you just kind of go with the flow once you get there.
Yeah,
so.
Tentative schedule. Chef family said tentative. Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's absolutely a tentative schedule.
Yep.
But there are certain things that you got to stick to. Dining is the obvious one. But it's funny, you talk about taking trips, and we used to, when the kids were younger, we would go to the parks early, take an afternoon break,
take a nap
and then come back later in the day. How many of you out there are open to close? How many people rope drop and then stay for the kiss goodnight? Stay the whole day. Does anybody else still do that? We did that 2 trips ago. We try to do it if we can, but we did it 2 trips ago, and we did better than we thought.
And I think it's the time of year we went to. We went in May. It wasn't super hot at night and in the morning. That helps. I think when you're going in the dead of summer, because this will be our 3rd trip in August, and it's killer on you. So I think it's a lot harder to go open to close when you're in like 90 to 100 degree temperatures all day in the sun. I think you're almost better off taking a break if you can. In between time. And a lot of times we'll do that. Like usually our first few days we'll do one park, or the 4. And then after that we'll go to one park in the morning, take a break, go to a different park at night. Right. Because we obviously do the
Hey Brandy and Dave, welcome in.
Hey Brandy and Dave.
Good to see you.
We do the park hoppers.
Right.
So that way we have more flexibility and we're like, oh, well, let's do this park tonight. Oh, this park has extra magic hours, so let's go to this one, or stuff like that, and just kind of fly by the seat of our pants, as they say.
Disney Nerd Herder says, no, we take a break in the middle of each day. Daddy needs his nap.
Yeah.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah, we're getting older too, so it is harder.
Oh, Chef Family, absolutely. That makes total sense. She said they say 4 kids, 5 and under, you have to do the midday break. Absolutely.
That's exactly what we did. We always went back for a nap to the hotel and went back again at night.
Interesting. Oh, Jeff says Trevor Bauer has a no-hitter through 6 innings. Very good. I know who that is.
Of course.
Brandy and Dave says, I have done open to close when it was just B and I, but the kids, there's always a break. Yep. And you know what? As they get older, though, you'll be able to do it. When we did it open to close, our boys were there.
They're both teenagers.
But they're both, right, they're both teenagers, and they loved it. We had a great time.
They have a harder time getting up in the morning. Staying up all night is like their every day.
Right. Yeah. That was the hardest part. It's not having them stay late. It was getting them up to get there for a rope drop.
And to be honest,
that was the problem.
I want to say that when we did that, you and I are the only ones. Didn't they meet us in the park later? Because there were a couple times, though, where they did. Like but
it wasn't the open to close. Because Walter went and got a donut, remember, while we were waiting for the opening show and everything? Yeah.
So we don't force it anymore. You know, we'll let them kind of meet us. They're old enough to do what they want to do and meet us there when they want to. So, but I think he and I have fun with that now. Coming to terms with that, I think, was a little hard because you kind of want to get as much time together. And we're just kind of coming to terms that it's not going to be that way anymore. Yeah,
it's not going to be that way anymore. That's the hardest part. Enjoy your children while they're young, those that have them, and you go to the parks. Because you'll blink, and they'll be adults. And then they won't want to do any of that stuff with you. Well, that's not true. They do. They do.
Just have their
can't
own
say
lives.
that.
You know, they have. Walter has a job now. He has his own place. He's not coming with us.
And here's. No, he's not. And here's the thing. I am a morning person. For me, I'm up at when we're in Disney, 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm up.
Too tired.
And Melissa's not even. She hasn't even. I don't even have to say.
Like 6:30.
No, she can't.
Yes,
Trust me, guys.
6:30 I can do.
She's a monster in the morning.
I didn't say I'm a morning person, but I don't want to get up before 6:30.
Yes, grandchildren. That's right, grandchildren too.
I can't wait, but I can wait. I mean, Walter's only 23, so we want to give it.
He can wait. He can take his time.
He needs to finish graduate school.
Always have dogs so they come visit. Yeah, it's true. It's true. John says, no. I guess he's talking about early in the morning. I love the early mornings at the parks. First off, that's my favorite time at the parks is early morning. It's a light crowd, not a lot of people. You can hear the music, on the overhead for the experience music, the park music. You can get some really nice. Now, I'm actually going to do a video on rope drop really soon. You can get some really nice pictures. The ambiance in the morning is it's fantastic. I'm sorry. The dog makes this terrible noise behind us.
Yeah, Jeff says, mornings are for coffee and contemplation. I think that's good.
Yep.
Well, it's not the coffee. He's the, Pepsi if they had it in the park. Pepsi and contemplation be Coke. But, see, Robin's a night owl. I don't know if I'm either anymore. It's pathetic. But I deal with better staying up late, especially if I don't have to get up at 5 a.m. That's where I have a difficult time. If I can sleep in a little bit, I'll happily stay up.
Steve? No, Melissa will do it for certain things. Like Galaxy's Edge, maybe, probably not. But if she was really into it like we are, absolutely, she would do it then.
And I'm always glad once I do it. I just have a very hard time getting up and functioning in the morning. So for me, it's not that I don't want to. I'm just tired. And I do enjoy, though, once I finally get there, or like, when we stay at Wilderness Lodge, likes to go out by the water and just, it's gorgeous. And when I actually get there and do it, I'm really glad I did. It's more just getting to that point.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I love the mornings at the parks. I think that's one of the best parts of it.
Yeah, you and Walt are about the same, Steve. When you're at Disney, you're both a morning person and a night owl. That's Walt for sure.
Yeah. I could go open to close every day. I really could. My feet will feel it. Don't get me wrong. I'll have my moments where I'm struggling with my feet. But other than that, no, it's not that bad at all. Hey, Meg, welcome in.
Hey,
Mickey's
Meg.
Magic. How you doing, Meg? Everybody say hi to Meg.
Greg, I agree with you. We just watched, was it Corey's vlog about breakfast at Port Orleans? He went to the Sassagoula, that big long one.
Yeah, Sassagoula.
Something Works. And their food looked pretty
really
amazing.
Good. Yes.
And really big portions. So I agree with you. I think that's a good place to try breakfast. You guys should watch Corey and Stephanie. They do really good food reviews. I really enjoy watching them.
Yeah. Well, Brian, that's exactly right. No need for fast passes in the morning, but that's why rope drop is so important because you can get certain really good rides out of the way. Maybe not the great rides, but you can get some really good rides that are popular out of the way early, and you haven't even used any of your fast passes yet. The last trip we were on, when we went to Magic Kingdom, we went to the left towards Adventureland. We got Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean, Splash Mountain, and Big Thunder out of the way.
Yeah. Hey, Isaac.
And almost got Haunted Mansion before there were any lines.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Great. It was
hey,
smart.
Isaac.
It was definitely a wise move. Someone else had said to do that, and it really worked. We got a lot of the big ticket, fun, good rides out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You know what I
mean. No, absolutely. But if you time it right and you go the right way, you can really do a lot early in the morning.
Oh, good night, human person. We were so glad you
Thanks,
were
human
here.
person. Good to see you again. Thanks for being here. I definitely appreciate it. We both do. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, I think the early mornings at the parks are great. And that same thing can be said for all the parks. When you go to Animal Kingdom, everybody always goes to the left. They gravitate to the left to go towards Pandora. Go to the right. Go to the right. Not many people go that way. You could probably knock Everest out. You can knock a few things out over that way. Not that there's really a lot of rides over that way, and that's probably part of it. But you can knock out Everest and other things, and then you could get to the other stuff later. At Epcot, we always go, well, usually we'll go right to, Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, John says Splash Mountain early would wake you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure would.
It would.
My day.
Yep.
And I know I have to do it this trip. Oh, my gosh.
Well, I tell you, Chris makes a good point. He says he's doing the VIP pass holder night on the 28th. Can't wait to see the lack of crowds. Yeah, you got it.
That's going to be awesome.
I just wish the VIP pass holder nights were a little bit longer. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're only 2 hours. There's only so much you're going to get done in 2 hours. So that's right. I forgot about Dinosaur. That's another one over that way.
I like Dinosaur, John. I didn't used to. I was scared to death the first time I tried it. But the last several trips I go on it without any problem. It kind of makes me laugh how deathly afraid I was of some rides that I can go on now and not even worry about. But there's still some I just know I'll never do.
Yep. Steve, and that's a good question. For those that don't know, Steve is on after us. I think he goes on at 9 or 10.
You mean Chris?
I mean Chris. Chris goes on. I'm sorry.
Chris.
I said Chris. Chris Disney World Adventures is on right after us, or I think it might be 9:30, 10 o'clock. Be sure to check out Chris's channel. And Chris, I apologize. I know sometimes when we shout out other channels, we tend to forget you, and I'm sorry about that. That's our fault, bud.
And he had a really amazing stream last week with some amazing content and work he put into about the Disney Imagineers.
Yes, good stuff.
So
absolutely. Please check out his channel. He does great stuff.
Yeah, a lot of thought and really awesome stuff in there, you guys. Go check it out from last Thursday.
Yep, absolutely. And Meg, I totally get that. I guess part of it for me is I don't want to be on my phone the entire time.
Sure.
You know, that's the thing. I don't want to be like this looking all the time. I want to enjoy. I want to look around. I want to look at the park. I want to look at the people. I want to look at the experience. I want to look at the theming. I don't want to have to be doing this the whole time to wonder whether or not I'm going to get the next pass. It's great. If you don't mind it, you're right. You're going to get tons of fast passes like you did. And that's a great experience in and of itself. I guess it's different for everybody.
Sure.
You know?
Absolutely. I almost wish your Magic Bands were almost like Apple Watches. You know, where you could have some of the stuff on there and just have it on your wrist.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be neat? That would be neat.
Sounds costly, but it'd be kind of fun.
That'll come.
So.
Well, and that's true, Steve. I guess that would be the way to do it. And again, part of it is maybe we're not manipulating the system correctly. You're right. That could be exactly what the problem is. Part of it is that, I'm sure. But I've seen times when I've gone to the parks and we would be in line on our third Fast Pass, and we would be looking at the app, and there's really nothing. There's nothing.
But I think Steve might be right. We're probably not refreshing it enough or checking it frequently enough, so we'll definitely put it to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Steve will be there to guide us, so that'll help too.
That'll help. But it just depends. I mean, but again, we've done that. We have done that, folks. We really have, where we've been in line, and we would say, okay, go now, look for the next Fast Pass. And there'd be nothing available. It would be, if we were over at Animal Kingdom, it would be Finding Nemo the Musical, or it would be Up a Great Adventure. We don't want Fast Passes for those. But I guess that's the other thing, too. Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah. Yep. So you change our mind about Fast Passes in August, and we'll change our mind about People Mover. It's a That's great. Yeah, see, a Disney Apple Watch. See, like Chris said, a magic band with the app built in.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Let's patent it.
Look, no, Disney won't let us. They've already patented the magic band.
I'm sure they've already got all kinds of stuff.
I'm sure that's
just
coming.
A matter of time and money.
It's already coming because when you're on your phone now, they put a lot of the stuff on the phones now.
Well, yeah, you can unlock your door with the phones now.
Yep.
But again, it's a phone and you're having to carry it around. But I guess if you have an Apple Watch, it works like your phone and you can use it for all your stuff. So I guess I just can't afford an Apple Watch.
Steve says Meg and I would make a great, fantastic tour guide team for Disney. They can pay us with lifetime park passes. Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. People move their best
Kay.
sleeper. Hey, Kay Atwood, welcome in. How are you? Glad you're here. I have never, ever, Brian, in all the times I've ridden People Mover, ever fallen asleep on that ride.
No, me either.
Even at the end of the day, and Melissa's a fall sleeper. Even at the end of the day.
Be somewhere where it's dark and air conditioned.
But it is dark and air conditioning on that.
No, but not the whole ride.
No, not the whole ride.
I have to be in like something where I'm sitting and it gets dark and cool and it's a show and the lights go down. Although I haven't fallen asleep on Carousel of Progress yet.
Not yet.
So
Disney Nerd Herders makes a point. And that's kind of what I was saying is remember why you're there. You're there to enjoy yourself, have fun, spend time with the family. Sometimes you got to put the tech away and just enjoy the moment. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. That's what it is. And there's nothing wrong with those that want to be on it, on and on and on it. I have no problem with that. It's just for me, I'm old school with a lot of stuff.
That's why I don't like to play the new Disney games. Because I know they have those queue games. But for me, it's just more time on my phone. And Walt already yells at me saying I'm on my phone too much. So I'm like, when I'm in Disney, I don't want to be on my phone playing games. The whole point for me to be there is to not be in my normal everyday or, not that that's what I do every day. But anyway, I don't really want to be on my phone. I'm already using it to take pictures, already using it to do FastPasses, your mobile ordering. I'm like, that's plenty for me.
Yeah.
So.
And I like, what I also do during the time that I'm in line in a queue is I take that time to talk to the boys. Yeah, we talk to the boys. We talk about stuff. We talk about Disney. We do this and that. And sometimes we'll play games on our phones. Like we'll play the one where you hold it up here like that.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that.
But we're interacting
with each other too.
Not just,
yeah. So,
hey, Downscale.
Hey, Downscale. Welcome in. Good to see you.
But we're not just, solely standing in line, just focusing on our phones. We try to do something that we can do together if we're using them. So.
And Steve, that's a good point. He says his family gets mad at him if they have to wait too long for the next FastPass. They make it a family event.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Whatever you can do to keep the family interacted together. Like when we go to Disney, the boys will sometimes say, well, I want to go do this. And Mason will be like, well, I want to go back to the hotel for a little while and rest or go to the pool. And I'm like, no! Let's all stay together.
Yeah,
stay with me.
Having a hard time adjusting. He's right. If you didn't need your phone for things like, hey, having to text your family to meet back up or call, we've become so dependent on our phones now. I mean, ages ago, we didn't even have that. We'd be like, okay, 2 o'clock, meet at this restaurant.
Yep, it's that simple.
I guess you still could do that, but I guess now it just, in case something happens, at least you can communicate. It's that peace of mind, and you really almost have to have it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And there's nothing wrong. I love all the rides, and I know that eventually, and most of the time when we go, we're going for a week. I'm going to get on everything at some point. I'm going to get on it. So, Disney Nerd says, special moments are few and far between. Create those special moments, and don't waste that special opportunity. You're in Disney. I agree. Yeah, have fun. But fun is different for everybody, What are you laughing at?
Steve, his people are here tonight. The people that don't share his love of Carousel of Progress and People Mover. See, again, we're fighting, Steve.
I love both of those. I have grown to love Carousel of Progress.
I love it too.
I think it's fun. I do.
See, I liked it before. You hated it.
Yeah.
And I would be like, I'm going to go on Carousel of Progress while you go on Space Mountain. You'd be like, fine, go ahead.
Bless you.
And now he wants to go on with me, so.
Yeah, I like it. It's more.
I just go ride People Mover while you go. I just go on
it a couple times. I don't know why people don't like People Mover. I think it's fun.
But I can understand, I guess, why people. It's not like it's anything mind-blowing.
No.
I just really love seeing the sights from up high. It's a nice time to chill. I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't know if it's just nostalgic or I don't know. I just love it.
Steve says, "Oh, thank you, Steve. We appreciate it."
We love you too. I'm just being silly.
We're going to have a good time. We definitely will. Downscale says, the Lucky Minute, welcome in. Well, they were in here earlier, right? I don't know if you were or not. Well, welcome in if you're first coming in, Lucky Minute. If not,
we're sorry.
I'm sorry if we didn't get you, but welcome in. Glad you're here. Downscale says, I agree. I always considered the Disney trip is the we're going to stick together idea since the rest of the time we're all busy doing stuff. I mean, that's just us. But I always say, let's stay together. And they're always, well, I want to go do this or I want to go do that. I'm like, no, please.
They got to grow up. You got to let them go. We got to cut the cord.
Meg, I don't like chocolate chip cookies.
Yes, you do.
Not really. Not.
But they have to have nuts in them.
Yeah, they have to have like walnuts in them.
And he'll pick up the nuts and he'll put the chocolate chips on the plate.
Which means I don't really like chocolate chip cookies.
And he likes the nuts, but he'll eat the chocolate. But if they're too loaded with chocolate chips, he's weird.
Yeah, I like the Carousel Progress, the Christmas part too, Noah. But I like the first scene too, when they're way back in the 20th century, in the early 20th century. That's pretty cool too. I like that.
I love cookies. I love homemade cookies. Yeah, I was getting ready to leave for work Saturday night. 20 minutes before I leave, Mason comes downstairs. Mom, can you make me some cookies? I'm like, yeah, let me just whip up a batch of fresh chocolate chip cookies for you in 15 minutes. I'm like, son.
I'm not a big chocolate chip fan. Chocolate chips are meh to me. I mean, and
he prefers, I make a oatmeal cinnamon chip cookie.
Oh, cinnamon chip oatmeal cookie.
Favorite.
Oh my God, that's an awesome cookie.
I'm with you, Rhiannon. Chocolate with chocolate and more chocolate. Sounds good to me. Yeah. Yep.
See, Meg, boo, Walt, no boo, Steve. Oh, by the way, everybody, Steve was our partner channel. I don't think that he is anymore, so if anybody would like to be, we have an opening. We'll take FastPasses. Just kidding.
Send us the ride you like, and if People Mover isn't on there.
I wasn't disagreeing on everything last night, Meg. Just mostly everything. It wasn't everything.
Peanut butter cookies.
More sunshine, please, says chocolate chip cookies on the People Mover. Now that's heaven.
You need
that's
Jack
with
Jack,
milk. You gotta have milk too.
Jack Num Num cookie and the People Mover.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, I want to have the key lime pie on a stick. That sounds so good. I'm getting one of those.
They should do that. Look, I know we're running up on time, but they should do a dining experience on the People Mover.
Yeah, we said that.
Put a table, like a little table in the middle of it, and you get a nice little meal, and you can ride around like 7 times.
It'll be the new dining experience.
The new dining experience.
You know, like how they have the dessert parties, it'll be the People Mover lunch party.
Right, and instead of the overhead, the guy narrating, they can play music. Oh my gosh.
That would be awesome.
I don't remember saying that, Meg. I don't think that was me. That was definitely not Walt.
I think we might have it in evidence.
That doesn't matter. I wasn't even home last night. No, I'm just kidding.
Food.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, see a box lunch, Lucky Minute. They can put all kinds of good stuff in there.
Yes.
From Woody's Lunchbox.
I'm telling you.
You can get a grilled cheese and a lunchbox tart and a slushie.
What's Steve's World? Downscale said, who? What? What's Steve's World?
Oh my gosh.
I could, John. I could do it. I'm telling you, man, they could put like a little table and it would be awesome.
When you whip around those corners real quick, your lunch might go whoosh.
But they don't go that fast around the corner.
It does enough to make your lunch fly off a table.
No, it would not.
You'd have to hold it in your lap. The TTA dessert challenge.
Eat food with some G-force on it. Yeah, there you go. See? That's a good... That can be the food.
Here you go.
Yeah.
So it would have to be everything on a stick. So that it doesn't go.
That would be food on the go, John says. Yes,
Corn
it would.
dogs.
Hey, think of it this way. It's mobile ordering.
No, that's mobile eating.
Whatever. Potato.
Then you end up with food on your face when you go through Space Mountain.
No.
I get food on my face in my clothes anyway.
No, on the table they'd have like a little candle for a little bit of light to illuminate when you're in those dark areas. It could be very cool, I'm telling you. This is going to work.
That's a good idea, Lucky Minute. We'll vlog that while we're in Disney. We'll get some food and go on the People.
We're doing it. That's it. I'm doing it. We're going to hide it in the purse, and then when we get on there, we're going to do it. You do?
I don't bring my purse in the park.
Well, you are that.
We bring a string bag. candle for all
We'll
people.
We'll put it all in the string bag. There you go.
Or the wishes Mickey candles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or the Lumiere candle. You know? Oh my gosh, I got it.
Part of the point of being a partner channel is to look out for the other one when they are wrong and let them know about it so they can be fixed.
Oh, I'm letting you know about it. Oh wait, does he mean me?
He's broken, Steve. It's like Humpty Dumpty. You can't put him back together again.
Thank you for some support. I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm going to pitch that to Disney. That's the next dining experience. I'm telling you right now. That'll work.
Oh my gosh.
It'll work. It'll work. I'm telling you it'll work. I think it'll work.
The new food on the GONE technology.
Yep. I think it would work. I think it would work.
Maybe we'll get Steve to like People Mover.
Oh,
we can eat
and
on
you
it.
know, they could have an overlay too. What
bread
are you
service
doing,
on
dog?
the People Mover, and Steve will love it.
The dog's being crazy. Robin wants chocolate chip cookies for dinner.
I want chocolate chip cookies all the time. Okay. Ouch, it sounds like Melissa has tried.
Yep, we're going to do it. We're going to sneak
no, he
food
means
on.
putting you back together again.
Oh.
Like Humpty Dumpty.
I'm not that bad. Well, maybe I am. I don't know. I must do something
I'm
right.
the broken one.
Not at all, dear. Not at all.
Yeah, I think I am. Oh my god.
Dining on the monorail. Well, they got to clean it up a
Stinky in
little
the
bit.
monorail.
Yeah.
It smells like dirty socks in there. I don't want to eat where it smells like dirty socks.
Disney Nerd Herders, we are down there in August.
Table service credit.
We are down there in August. Yes, with the other vloggers.
Oh, that's great.
Yep, we are down there in August with everybody else. It's going to be a good time. We're very excited. Well, maybe not now, Steve. No, I'm just
a
kidding.
million other vloggers. Hey, we were there, what, third? Fourth?
Yeah, I know.
We actually were going to be down there anyway. Our son's going to college in Florida. And oh, proud mommy and daddy moment. We just got an email that Mason just got awarded a $10,000 scholarship from the school. So that's just announcing that. I'm sure everybody cares, but I cried. I was crying tonight before the show.
Yeah, she was. She cries at everything.
I like it.
Yes, Meg, they probably do have to clean the TTA, but the TTA doesn't smell like
Socks.
urine.
Socks with urine.
Urine-y socks. There you go.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. It's big. I mean, for Mason to win anything is amazing.
I told you he is broken. Never mind. I take that back. Broken. Thank you, Robin.
That's right, Dave. That's right. Dave might be there. I think Dave is going to be there. That's right. Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of people down there.
That is a lot of Dole Whip.
Yep, that is a lot of Dole Whip. But
it's a lot of learning. Thanks,
yeah,
Chef
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's exactly right, Steve.
It's what it smells like.
Meg, the idea of a monorail dinner would be fantastic. I love that idea. But they got to clean it up.
That'd be about right, Meg. That about sums it up.
Look,
anybody
that's
a hard time.
No,
always.
Melissa knows this.
Pressure.
You have two totally different people created from the same people. They're just different. That's all. I love my son. We're getting in a whole new area now. Let's go back to Disney.
This is like a vlog we'll have to do with Meg with her psychology degree on the side.
I do have, Meg, that's the problem. I do have high expectations for Mason. I actually have very high expectations for Mason. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is I do.
We do, Steve. We do love him very much. We
love who?
Our son.
Which one?
Both of them.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Steve's like, to be clear, they love Mason very much. Of course we do. Our kids are our lives. So.
Mason's not in the closet tonight. We didn't lock him in there.
Well, he won the scholarships.
So he's out tonight. Yeah. He'll go back in tomorrow. Because tomorrow's Friday. Friday's his closet day. We're going to get a call. We're going to get a knock on the door from Protective Custody Services and saying, sir, can we have a word with you, please? We heard about this, that, and this. And it's going to be like...
it was recorded live?
Yeah. And it was recorded for everybody around the world to hear. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no. Yeah, absolutely, Meg. Why not? Right? I could use your services.
There you go, yeah. Well, yeah, you got a few clients already right here. Yeah, there's one. Discount, please. Frequent flyer discount, for sure.
God.
Greg, that's awesome, buddy. He's moving there moving to Florida in 7 weeks from tomorrow. That's awesome.
Aww.
Camden.
And you love
I don't love
Camden.
Camden today.
He's been mean to Camden today, Rhiannon.
Not mean.
Walt took a half a day, and Camden's been like up his you-know-what. And he's been following around, and Walt keeps almost tripping over him, so he's irritated with Cam today. Poor little Cam.
He's like, will you get off from under my feet? Oh.
Yeah, he's actually laying next to me on the floor. He's having a mommy and daddy, like, I need you night.
Yes.
Poor puppy.
That's exactly right, Steve. You get a free pass for your award, Mason. You can shower tonight. That's exactly right.
And we'll feed him.
And we'll feed him. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Well, we're coming up on an hour. We're actually past the hour at this point. And Protective Services is probably going to be knocking on the door, so we have to get down there to answer that. And
the CDC. Child Detection.
Yeah, the CDC is probably on their way.
Or is it CDA? Child Detection Agency?
Yep, exactly. Yes.
2319.
Robin, you're right. Our kids are our world. The whole reason I'm hanging here in Florida is our son can have this opportunity.
So
I agree
awesome.
100%. Yep. The decisions we make in life, we make based on those children. Yep. No matter what. Yep.
Ooh, Disney Nurse Herders gets to be down on 4th of July. Are you going to be in Magic Kingdom for the fireworks show?
You got to be there.
Oh,
make sure you do.
Or
a tip. A good tip for that is, we've heard, if you can get to the Poly, or you can get to the Grand Floridian, and you can see just as well there, and you're not in the parks having to deal with the crowds. So I've heard that too.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Chef family,
Yep.
Jeff, Brian, Disney Nerd Herders,
Rhiannon, Robin, Meg, Dan was in here earlier,
Steve,
Downscale, Steve,
Dougie
was in here,
Downscale,
Greg, more sunshine, please.
Jim.
Noah.
Yep, Noah.
Absolutely. Chef
Oh my
family, I
gosh,
don't know
so
if we
many
said them.
people.
Brandy and Dave, thank you. The Lucky Minute. Guys, thank you all for coming out. I'm
We
sorry
love
if we
you
missed
all.
anybody. Chris, Disney World Adventures.
Chris, getting ready for
right
his
there.
vlog, so be sure to check him out.
Be sure to check him out. And guys, thank you all very much. Again, Tuesdays and Thursdays we go live.
Isaac and John.
And we appreciate Janine. Right, forgot about Janine. Thank you.
Come here.
We appreciate you guys. Tuesdays and Thursdays we go live. Our partner channel Steve goes live on Monday. Please check him out. Meg on Wednesdays goes live as well. We have Chris, Disney World Adventures, right after us. And Disney Fiasco on Saturdays. And then Steve and I are back on Saturday nights as well with our sports talk. And this Sunday is the next episode of Disney Dan and ours. We're going to be doing episode 3 of Star Wars. We do our Star Wars talk once a month. It's this Sunday. I think it's going to be 4 p.m., so check that out too.
And my Disney World Adventures. And Robin, thank you for being here. I'm sorry you had a hard day. I'm glad we could make it a little better for you.
Yeah, I'm glad too. Yep, Steve's still a partner channel. We flipped the coin.
Says, hi, Kim.
No, I'm just kidding.
But, and the Mouse Madness too. You're right, John. So be sure to do your voting still.
Yep, Mouse Madness is coming to an end. We're about ready to the grade 8 are about to end, and we're about to get down to the fabulous 4. So we're getting close. But thank you, everybody. We appreciate y'all. Be sure to check out Jeff's channels too. What did he say? What was that?
No, I said poor Cam. I was looking.
Oh, that poor dog. I love him.
Oh, which channel is the he has to fit Stan's channel?
It will be Dan's channel this time. Yes, it'll be Dan's channel. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. But guys, please give us a thumbs up. It definitely helps the stream, helps the channel, shows you care. Do it even if you don't care.
Remember, if you don't sub to Steve's World, an angel won't get its wings.
That's true. Us too. Please.
He is a good puppy.
He is a good puppy.
He's a good boy.
He is. He's a good boy.
He's our little West.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you very much. We love you guys. This was a lot of fun tonight. We hope you guys had fun. That's what's most important. We're here to make you guys laugh and smile, and hopefully you got some of that tonight. But we had a great time with you. Thanks again. Please take care of yourselves and each other, everybody. Be sure to check out Chris real soon, going live, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye.